Hey guys, oSgtKickAss here and welcome back to the channel, and we are back with another ERB reaction, and we are coming back with a banger. We have got Jack the Ripper versus Hannibal Lecter, and I'm extra excited for this one, guys, because as you know I love Dan Bull, and Dan Bull is Jack the Ripper, I believe, in this, so I'm really excited to get into this one, guys, so let's jump straight into it.
Jack the Ripper!
Nice! Oh, sick. So they've nailed the outfits again. So for Jack the Ripper, they've just gone for like a creepy sort of Victorian gentleman vibe, because no one knows what Jack the Ripper looks like, so it's inaccurate to be able to get him perfect, because no one knows what would be perfect. But they did believe he was like an upper class gentleman, so he's got the top hat, the Victorian like gentlemanly look, but they've also got it down dark alley and looking a bit shady, looking a bit creepy. And then Hannibal Lecter, we've got him in the straight jacket with the muzzle on his face, and he's strapped to the cart being brought down. So they've got the outfits absolutely bang on. I'm excited for this, guys, and yeah, it is Dan Bull, so I'm so excited for this.
The Ripper! Hannibal Lecter!
Boy, mate, pass the liquor. It's Jack the Ripper, Jack the Rapper. Following you way before the dawn of Twitter. I'm a
So, or you mate, pass the liquor. It's Jack the Ripper. So he's introduced himself as, it's me, Jack the Ripper, but pass the liquor, because Jack the Ripper is also a cocktail. I can't remember exactly what it is. I know there is a cocktail called Jack the Ripper. So he's like, pass the liquor, it's Jack the Ripper. So he's going to make a cocktail of his own name, but then he also transitions to Jack the Rapper. So he's saying that he's a rapper, playing on his own name of the Ripper to the rapper. And then following you way before the dawn of Twitter. So he used to follow his victims. So his victims were prostitutes, and he'd follow them, and then he'd often either rape them before or after he killed them. But he'd stalk them and he'd kill them, sometimes in the streets, sometimes in their own home. It just depended what he fancied that night. But yeah, he would stalk his victims and follow them and then kill them. And like I said, he'd either rape them before sometimes and sometimes after, so he's stalking them to do that and then kill them. So yeah, but then following you way before the dawn of Twitter. So following like the victims, you follow on Twitter, and yeah, but he's saying I was following you before Twitter was even about, I was still following people. So nice little play on Twitter there, very good, I'm liking it, nice little opener.
It's Jack the Ripper, Jack the Rapper. Following you way before the dawn of Twitter. I'm a human trigger warning through the night until the morning. When the light shines upon my crimes, you find it sick appalling.
So I'm a human trigger warning through the night until the morning. Nice. So he's basically saying that if you get triggered and stuff, so he's like triggering people are getting scared and worried about what's going to happen when Jack the Ripper, but they're worrying all the way through the night until the morning, because he did his killings at night. So it's like through the night until the morning, people are worried, people are triggered and stuff because of me. So yeah, he's a human trigger warning. Again, could be linking back to the Twitter line, because people get triggered very easily on social media now. So, but then when the light shines upon my crimes, you find it sick appalling. So when the light shines, when the morning comes out, he's done his crimes in the night. So when it shines upon the crimes, you'll find it sick and appalling, because he didn't just kill them and leave. He'd mutilate their bodies. He'd cut parts out. He'd cut like the heart or the liver or something. Was it the liver he cut out and sent to the police? I believe he did. It could be the liver. I can't remember. I could be wrong on that. But I know he cut something out of like the body and sent it off to one of the police. It was either an editor or a policeman. So yeah. And then he also wrote in another letter that he was going to try and get it out of someone else, but he was being interrupted, because he said the previous letter that he'd cut it out and he got interrupted, and so he actually did a second murder that night and got out of there, and then put it in the letter that that's what happened. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, he's just saying when the light shines and you've seen my killings, you'll find it sick and appalling, because he's not just going to kill them, he's going to mutilate them.
Human trigger warning through the night until the morning. When the light shines upon my crimes, you find it sick appalling. An infamous, notorious delinquent. There's little more gory a thing than living in Victorian England.
Nice. So I'm an infamous, notorious delinquent. So yeah, he is obviously that, because I mean, of all the crimes and stuff, he was a delinquent, he was a psychopath, basically, for killing these people. There's little gorier thing than living in Victoria, England. So yeah, Victorian England was obviously going to be a horrible place, dirty, filthy, and things like that, and not very nice. But he's saying it's gory because of what he's doing and the killings he's doing in the Whitechapel area of London. So yeah, just saying there's little gorier thing than living in Victoria, England, while he's preying on people in the streets and finding his next victim.
It's notorious delinquent. There's little more gory a thing than living in Victoria, England. This is horrorcore. Beware if you're a common whore. Or at late night you may find me knocking on your door.
Oh, I like that. So this is horrorcore, right? So the horrorcore, it's like, we all know what horrorcore is, I'm sure. It's like music, but it's like eerily like and stuff like that, and eerie and spooky background noises. But as he says, this is horrorcore. It does like the horrorcore, it overlaid in like a creepy thing, and then it goes into like a creepy little background music. That's very, very nice. But then but gets a horrorcore. Beware if you're a common whore, or like late night you'll find me knocking on your door. So yes, he did kill, as I said, prostitutes. So he's calling them common whores here because they're having sex for money. So he's calling them common whores. So he's like, if you're a prostitute, watch out, because at late night when he did his killings, you may find me knocking on your door. I believe he did kill most of them just in the street, but I believe there may have been one or two he did actually kill in their own like apartment. So at late night, I'll knock on your door, lure you out so I can get in and kill you. Very good, Jack.
Beware if you're a common whore, or at late night you may find me knocking on your door. Not keen to leave until I'm knee deep in blood and gore. Your grieving family on their knees, we've been scrubbing floors.
So, not keen to leave until I'm knee deep in blood and gore. Like I said, he doesn't just kill, he cut bits out. He cut like parts away. I mean, it got to the point where people believed, like the police said, that whoever it was had to have some medical knowledge, because like to be able to dissect things the way they did, like they had to have some knowledge on anatomy and how to properly dissect things. So yeah, like I said, he cut bits out of people. He didn't just kill them and leave. So he's not keen to leave until he's knee deep in blood and gore, and then leaving families on their knees, sweeping, scrubbing floors. So yeah, like I said, he did kill a few people, at least one woman in her own home. So the grieving families of this woman would have had to clean the floors in this apartment of the building. So the grieving families of them are there cleaning the floor and weeping and scrubbing the floor. Damn.
Even till I'm knee deep in blood and gore. Your grieving family on their knees, we've been scrubbing floors. If the police need a lead, they know what they're looking for. My raps are like the way I eat my meat, bloody raw.
Oh shit. So, the police need a lead, don't know what they're looking for. So, yeah, the police didn't have a fucking clue who Jack the Ripper is. He's never been caught. There have been multiple theories over the last few years as to who it is. They've tried to prove it with science. I'm not sure if they actually figured it out in the end. I heard a few things that someone thought they did, and then the DNA strand that was labelled was wrong, so it wasn't that. But then there's been another that people think it's this dude now. I don't know. I'm going to say he's still we don't know who Jack the Ripper is. But yeah, so the police need a lead, don't know who they're looking for. They didn't have a clue. There was fake letters going into places saying these things, but then there was potentially real ones, and it got very confusing for the police, and they just didn't have a fucking clue who it was, because obviously back in Victorian days they didn't have cameras and things like that, so they had no idea who Jack the Ripper was. So yeah, please need to leave my raps are like the way I eat my meat, bloody raw. So bloody, obviously, this British slang of, oh bloody hell, oh bloody. We don't say it as much as Americans think, but yeah, we do say bloody a fair amount. So my raps are like the way I eat my meat, bloody raw. So he's saying his raps are raw, they're going to hit you hard, and then eat the way I eat my meat, possibly playing into the fact he ate his victims, possibly, because he dissected them. So he's possibly saying does that, but then the way I eat my meat, bloody, so to emphasise it, raw. So like his raps are raw, they're vicious, they're brutal, and that no one is going to be able to return from him. But oh fucking hell, look at Hannibal Lecter there. I'm sure he's going to have some retorts.
Police need a lead, they know what they're looking for. My raps are like the way I eat my meat, bloody raw.
Jack, you're a classic megalomaniac. You haven't mentioned me once in your entire battle rap.
So, Jack, you're a classic megalomaniac. So, a megalomaniac is basically someone they're a bit obsessed with themselves and their power and being stronger and overpowering people, and they believe they're amazing. So he's saying you're a megalomaniac. You didn't mention me once in your entire battle rap. So his entire first verse, I believe he's right. I think he's just spoke about him and how he makes the streets vicious and what he does. Doesn't mention Dr. Lecter at all. So yeah, he's possibly just saying that, yeah, you're just megalomaniac, because he's a psychiatrist, obviously knows about these sort of like diseases or conditions that people have. So it's like using his knowledge there to be like, you're a classic megalomaniac. And then you didn't even mention me in your entire rap.
You're a classic megalomaniac. You haven't mentioned me once in your entire battle rap. Pity your verse wasn't worth the trip in the jack. Quit jacking off in the track and put the lotion in the basket.
Oh shit! So, damn, that is good. So, pity your verse wasn't worth a trip in the jacket. So obviously he wears his jacket, the straight jacket, because he's fucking insane. They have to put him in the straight jacket to make sure he can't hurt anyone. But wasn't worth a trip in the jacket. So stop jacking off on the track. So again, possibly playing on the name Jack there as well, and then jacket. But stop jacking off on the track. So stop just fucking tossing yourself off on the track and making you look like amazing, like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, and put the lotion in the basket. That is a fucking line. So Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs, is it Silence of the Lambs? I believe it is. He's basically because he wants to cut the skin off of his victims when they die, he makes them put lotion all over their body, and so it makes it easier for him to cut it off. But then she's crying it down the bottom of the hole, and he's like, put the lotion in the basket. And she doesn't do it. She's still crying, let me out. He's like, put the lotion in the basket. Buffalo Bill, that's what he's doing. So yeah, it's very... he's played into that, but obviously put the lotion, stop jacking off on the track, and put the lotion in the basket, playing into that bit, but also playing into lotion that some men use when they're tossing off. Very good. Very good. I like it.
Verse wasn't worth the trip in the jacket. Quit jacking off in the track and put the lotion in the basket. And catch what the illa serial killer can deliver. Rhymes finer than the Chianti I would pair with your liver.
Oh, that's great. So catch what the illa serial killer can deliver. Nice little illa rhyme in there, scheme there. Very nice. But yeah, basically saying he's a more brutal, evil serial killer. So see what he can deliver. And then Chianti raps finer than Chianti that he would pair with your liver. So Chianti is it's a wine, and when he I can't remember which movie it is again. It might be Silence of the Lambs again. He says that he ate a human liver because he Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter said he ate liver with some beans and Chianti. So it's like Chianti's obviously a fine, expensive wine, like his lifestyle was. So he's saying his raps are finer and more established and more like refined and special and amazing than the Chianti that he would pair with Jack the Ripper's liver if he had the chance to kill him and cut his liver out and eat it. Very good.
What the illa serial killer can deliver. Rhymes finer than the Chianti I would pair with your liver. Just the thought of your putrid flesh makes me want to shiver. Cause your British body's covered in more piss than kitty litter.
So I'd eat your liver, but the flesh, the putrid flesh on your body makes me want to shiver. Like, even I wouldn't go with that repulsive like skin, because obviously in Victorian time, public health and cleanliness wasn't exactly hygiene, wasn't exactly the height of society, was it? They used to the streets were dirty and muddy and pissy and shit like that. So he's like, and there was no showering and stuff. So it's like, but your putrid flesh makes me want to shiver. So even though I want to eat your skin because your body's covered in more piss than kitty litter. So yeah, obviously cat litter. When cats need the toilet, they go to the litter tray, and there's kitty litter. There's litter in it. That's what it's called. So your British body's covered in more piss than kitty litter. So he's like, you're dirty in these streets of Victorian England. So your body's going to be covered in more piss than kitty litter. It's very good, very good. And I love the facial expressions and just the tone of how he's delivering as Hannibal Lecter. He's really got it spot on.
Thought of your putrid flesh makes me want to shiver. Cause your British body's covered in more piss than kitty litter. You stabbed women when they wouldn't give you attention, like a Penny Dreadful version of O.J. Simpson.
Oh shit. So you stabbed women when they wouldn't give you attention. So yeah, he killed prostitutes, as we said. They were all women, his victims. So he stabbed women when they wouldn't give him attention. So he's saying that you're so ugly, even the prostitutes wouldn't give you attention, and that's why you stabbed them. And then like a Penny Dreadful version of O.J. Simpson. So O.J. Simpson obviously killed his ex-wife and Ron Goldman. Well, he was acquitted, so he allegedly killed them. He was acquitted, but thing. So basically they're saying that a Penny Dreadful, so were like these little short stories, and they're often tellings of other stories, but they were done quite badly. They weren't great, but they were about in the Victorian times. So it's like you're just a Penny Dreadful version of the O.J. Simpson case. What you did was just like that. So yeah, very good, very nicely delivered, very good. So yeah, you're just a Penny Dreadful version of O.J. Simpson. Damn.
Women when they wouldn't give you attention, like a Penny Dreadful version of O.J. Simpson. But these days your nickname is all that's even known, and you didn't even come up with that shit on your own.
Nice. So these days your nickname is all that's even known. So yeah, a lot of people don't really know what Jack the Ripper did. They knew he was a serial killer, but they don't know who he killed, or they don't know his identity, and there's much about his cases. So it's like now your nickname's all that's even known. So yeah, a lot of people know the name Jack the Ripper, don't know what he did, or how he did them, or who he killed, and things like that. And you didn't even come up with that shit on your own. So yeah, I forgot his name. Jack the Ripper is his name, but it's believed that the letter where he called himself Jack the Ripper the first time, it's believed was written by a journalist to drive more interest in the story he was writing, get more people excited. This fake letter from the killer that's believed to be the journalist. So, but in the letter he calls himself Jack the Ripper. So there you go. He didn't even come up with that shit on his own.
These days your nickname is all that's even known, and you didn't even come up with that shit on your own.
I'm real. You'll find me making vacancies in brothels, while you only exist inside the pages of a novel.
Nice. So I'm real. You'll find me making vacancies in brothels, so I'm real. I'm actually killing these people in real life. I'm making vacancies in the brothels where these prostitutes worked. I'm actually killing these people. While you're not even real. You just exist inside the pages of a novel. Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Rises. That's your legacy. You are a book. You're not real. Well, I'm real, I'm doing these crimes, but you just exist inside the pages of a novel. Damn.
Real. You'll find me making vacancies in brothels, while you only exist inside the pages of a novel. You were kept for ages in the hovel, contained within a cage behind a locked door, while I never got caught.
Oh, so you were kept for ages in the hovel, contained in a cage behind a locked door, while I never got caught. Nice little rhyming scheme there, Dan. Love it. We love to see it. But yeah, he's like he said, he's real. But yeah, Hannibal Lecter got caught. He was kept in custody many times. He did escape, but he was kept in custody, and he got caught. And people they got him, but Jack the Ripper, they didn't catch him. He was never caught. They don't even know who he is. So the fact that these many years on we don't even know who he is insane. So yeah, that they didn't know. Like, you were caught, and I was never caught. So like it says at the bottom, the next line. So who's the superior serial killer? He must be. He's saying that he must be because, yeah, he was never caught.
Kept for ages in the hopful, contained within a cage behind a locked door. Well, I never got caught. So who's the superior serial killer? Dr. Lecter, I'm still wanted. You're forgotten. People these days are watching Dexter.
Oh wow. So who's the superior serial killer? Dr. Lecter. So he's calling him doctor because he was a doctor. So who's the superior serial killer? Like I said, because he was never caught. You're forgotten. People these days are watching Dexter. No one cares about the Silence of the Lambs anymore. Red Dragon. It's a fucking phenomenal films, by the way, if you've not watched them. But yeah, who's the superior serial killer? I was feared. You're forgotten. People these days are watching Dexter instead. Again, another fictional serial killer, but was he a serial killer who killed serial killers? My mum will kill me if I get this wrong, because my brother loved Dexter. Never really got it myself, so yeah. But yeah, who's like, yeah, there we go. Like, you're saying, yeah, I'm still wanted because I was never caught, but you're forgotten because people know who you were, and you're very old now, so you'd be dead. But people these days are watching Dexter instead. They're more interested by Dexter stories, which did end. I think it brought it back. I believe they brought it back for a season recently. But yeah, I'm still wanted, and you're forgotten. People rather watch Dexter.
Forgotten people these days are watching Dexter. So God protect you from the hell I've spread upon us. I'm terrorising London. Fuck the 7-7 bombers.
Oh no! Don't say that. So God protect you from the head I've spread upon you. So from the hell, he used to say, on the letters from the Ripper, it used to say from hell on it. Basically insinuating he was from hell and he was an evil creature from hell, and just to drive more fear into victims and potential victims in London, he used to say from hell on it. So God protect you from the hell I've spread upon you. I'm terrorising London. Fuck the 7-7 bombers. So he's saying he's terrorising London like the terrorists in the 7-7 bombings did. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but yeah, they were bombing. They blew up a tube, I believe, and a bus on the 7-7 bombers. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff out there to read and research if you want. But he's basically saying that he was as much as a terror to London, or even more of a terror to London than the 7-7 bombers were. Like, fuck the 7-7 bombers, he did that. Obviously, the taunt British bowmen used to do to the French because they'd cut the fingers off so they couldn't pull the string back. But basically now, if you do that to someone, you basically tell them to fuck off. So fuck the 7-7 bombers. Very nice way. Very nice lines. Very nice lines, Dan.
God protect you from the hell I've spread upon us. I'm terrorising London. Fuck the 7-7 bombers.
No, Jack, you are doing fine. Before your ham-fisted attempt at a terrorist line.
Very good. So, no, Jack, you were doing fine until your ham-fisted attempt at a terrorist line. So, when he's talking to Clarice in the movie Silence of the Lambs, he says, because she was chatting politely with him, he's like, I'm doing fine, and stuff like that, and then he says, then she abruptly changes and interrogates him about Buffalo Bill to try and get information about him and stuff. So he's like, no, I'm doing fine. And then your ham-fisted attempt at a terrorist line, he says that her interrogation of him, like going from that little chat straight into it, was ham-fisted. So again, he's using it, saying, like a chat with Clarice, his attempt to get that terrorist line in there was very ham-fisted and didn't run smoothly.
How typical of Jack the Ripper to chase a headline. Pick Ray Liotta's brain, ask him how I get mine.
Oh shit, how typical of Jack the Ripper to chase a headline. So basically saying he's trying to get the headline, that's why he did the killings he did it to get the headlines, and that's why he mentioned the 7-7 bombers, which obviously covered the things. And he's saying that the reason he must have sent the letters in to try and get the headlines, and that's what he was after. He only did the killings to get the headline. He didn't actually care about doing it for his own thing. And then pick Ray Liotta's brain and ask him how I get mine. So Ray Liotta was a Department of Justice official in the movies, and Lecter killed him and picked parts of his brain out and cooked and ate his brain. So it's like pick Ray Liotta's brain. If you pick someone's brain, it's like to ask them questions, get information on how to do things and stuff like that. You're picking their brain to get like help and tips. But obviously he would have picked from Ray Liotta's brain and eaten it. So very good line. Oof, Lecter, man. Oof.
Love Jack the Ripper to chase a headline. Pick Ray Liotta's brain, ask him how I get mine. I'm the bon vivant of violence, a licensed psychiatrist, 2 times in highest society to the sound of violence.
So a bon vivant is someone who like enjoys the high social life, like the higher tiers and esteemed social life. So I'm the bon vivant of violence, so I enjoy the social life but of violence, and I'm the violent person in it. And a licensed psychiatrist, so like I said, he was a doctor, he was a psychiatrist, and that's why he was picking Jack's brain and calling him a megalomaniac and things like that, because he was a psychiatrist. He knows all about the brain and things like that, and people's conditions like that. So, and a licensed psychiatrist who dines on higher society to the sound of violins. So yeah, violins are obviously played in fancy restaurants, and when you're rich you listen to violins and things like that, and the fancy music and stuff like that. But who dines on higher society. So higher society, obviously the rich and things, but if you dine with higher society, but he's saying he dines on higher society. So he killed rich and established and the high society, and he cooked them and ate them. So he's dining on higher society to the sound of violins. Very good.
Bon vivant of violence, a licensed psychiatrist, 2 times in highest society to the sound of violence. Don't get me wrong, I'd roast both your balls and my hibachi, but for a serial killer you're as tasteless as a bowl of kashi.
Very good. So I'd still kick what was it? Don't get me wrong, I'd roast both your balls with my hibachi. So hibachi's like a way to cook things. So he's saying he'd roast both the balls of Jack the Ripper with his hibachi and eat it, because obviously he eats humans. So he's going to cook his balls. But for a serial killer, you're as tasteless as a bowl of kashi. So yeah, that is like a cereal bar. They make their own cereals as well, kashi, and it's known to be quite bland and not flavourful and a bit dull and boring. So he's saying for a serial killer, you're about as dull and boring as kashi is as a cereal. Playing on the serial killer and the cereal, that cereal that you eat. Very good, Lecter, you got it.
Both your balls and my hibachi, but for a serial killer you're as tasteless as a bowl of kashi. You prey on a prostitute and play with her body. I don't mind that you're naughty, Jack, I hate that you're sloppy.
Oh, so that's very good. So you prey on a prostitute and you play with her body, and he's like, that's what he did. He raped her, like I said. But I don't hate that I don't mind that you're naughty, Jack. I hate that you're sloppy. So he obviously had OCD tendencies himself, so he'd want everything to be clean. But in Silence of the Lambs, Miggs next to him, in the cell next to him, masturbates and then chucks it on fucking Clarice. On Clarice, and it hits her in the face and stuff, and it's all sloppy and stuff. And it's revealed in the end that Lecter whispered things to him that made him that he was naughty and sloppy and that women wouldn't like it, and that's what made him kill himself. So yeah, he's like, I don't hate that you're naughty, Jack, that's fine, but I hate that you're sloppy. Like, if you're gonna do it, be clean and clinical and thing about it. Like, I don't mind that you're a naughty thing, but don't be sloppy about everything. Like Miggs.
Prey on a prostitute and play with her body. I don't mind that you're naughty, Jack, I hate that you're sloppy. Barney, take me back to solitary confinement, cause this dirty little lamb has just been silenced.
Ooh, so Barney, take me back to solitary confinement. So the guy, obviously he's in solitary confinement because that's where he has to be kept. Barney's obviously the person who's taken him there and back. Because this dirty little lamb has just been silenced, playing on the Silence of the Lambs, but also playing on the fact that Clarice said she was having nightmares at the start. This is why it's called Silence of the Lambs. She was having nightmares and there was lambs screaming in it. And when she finally solved the case of Buffalo Bill and he was caught and stuff, the lambs, he was like, how are those lambs now? Still screaming? And they weren't, but in our dreams. So yeah. So it's like, this dirty little lamb has just been silenced, because obviously saying that he's beat him and he's silenced him. Very good, Dr. Lecter. Very good, Jack the Ripper. Oh, what a battle, guys. Let's get into the breakdown of who won. So guys, that was such a good battle. Oh my god, to pick a winner out of them is very, very difficult, guys. But I am just going to give it to Hannibal Lecter. I'm sorry, Dan Bull. I love you. And you had some very, very, very good lines in there. Absolutely banger, brutal lines and things like that. But I think the way of the delivery of Hannibal Lecter and what he said, now he picked Jack the Ripper apart and his psychology and used it against him, and just very, very good. Like I said, like he said in his thing, Jack the Ripper just spoke about himself for the first verse, which meant Hannibal Lecter had the upper hand. But when you think about it, right, you might get me wrong here, but Dan Bull, his style of rapping, you look at other mob raps, they talk about themselves and how amazing they are, and that was very much shown in his Jack the Ripper, like the first verse especially. Bragging about themselves and how evil they are. I mean, look at the mob raps I've reacted to on the channel. Shameless self-plug there. Watch them. Please watch them. But yeah, they talk about themselves and big themselves up and talk about how amazing they are. That's very much Dan Bull's style. And it's a very good style. And he's very good at what he does. But yeah, it was brought into it. And I think that could be a thing. But I am just going to edge it to Hannibal Lecter. Just had those few more brutal lines. And attacked him throughout both verses. Whereas Dan Bull just attacked him throughout the one. So yeah, I think Hannibal Lecter does take this, guys. But I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, smash the like button, hit subscribe so you are notified when I upload other videos. But yes, please comment down below some other ERBs you want me to react to, along with other videos you'd like to see me watch and react to. So yeah, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. I'll see you next time. Peace.